Welcome to the Windy City Benders podcast, presented by Beer League Talk with your hosts, Nolly, Poetzy, Jarom, and Tanner.
Woo!
And Maple. What's going on, fellas? Welcome to episode 62 of the Windy City Bender podcast. The Luke Johnson. Because, of course, full squad today. Got Poets, along with Nolly, who just got back from golf. Tanner, how you doing?
Hey, I'm back.
And Jarom.
What's up?
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Nolly, how was your golf outing? Not great, huh?
Well, it took 4 hours, so let you decide.
Good. Tanner, how's the Dogs game?
Oh, it was it lasted 2.5 innings.
What?
Did it get rained out?
No, it got fogged out.
Oh my God, no way.
It got fogged out.
My
We were
golf?
sitting we were sitting first row behind the Dogs bench, and I couldn't see the outfielders. So the umpire was like, "Yo, we gotta fucking call this shit right now." It's just like, well, at least I got 5 hot dogs for $5, so that was cool.
And you got to see Big Z.
Yeah, and then I mean, every time I had a hot dog and they got a base hit, I just kind of waved it in the air. I'm on your side, boys, but I was in Gary, Indiana, at the fucking Railcats Stadium.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
So you didn't even see them in Rosemont?
No, I was in Indiana jet skiing.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the Benders boys outside of Tanner ended up going to Rosemont on Saturday last weekend to go and see Game 5 with the Wolves and the Charlotte Checkers. Had a great time. Ended up getting much more beer than was anticipated, thanks to the woman behind the counter who didn't know the difference between 12 ounces and 16 ounces.
22 ounces.
22 ounces.
22 ounces, sorry. 12 ounces and 22 ounces. The deal was you get 12-ounce beers for $4.
Mm-hmm.
She ended up giving us 22-ounce beers for $4. So we went up the first time thinking, okay, we're going to get 2 12-ounces to take back so we don't have to take multiple trips. We walked out of there with 2 22 ounces for $8.
Oh.
22 ounces or $10 total.
Ooh,
You got 2 for 8.
You got
And
44
she did it
ounces.
for every single one of us. She had no clue.
That's
Not a
amazing.
single. It
And,
was
geez,
hilarious.
bless her heart.
It was fantastic.
I spent like
We,
$35
we did
the
not-
whole night and had 5 beers, a hot dog, and popcorn.
Yeah,
It was fucking awesome.
it was a great time. It was a real great time. But the Wolves did end up losing to the Checkers, unfortunately. I believe the final was 5-3. There was like 4 goals in the last minute. But pretty much the Checkers dominated the entire game.
Cowbell.
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
God damn it. I knew I forgot something.
they gave away these cowbells with the Wolves logo on the front and Cane's Chicken on the back advertising it, which probably not the best advertiser to have, as seeing that Charlotte is the Canes affiliate.
They're just representing both clubs. That's all.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought that was a little strange. Kind of funny too.
A lot of Checker fans.
A lot of Checker fans. Jersey Watch was a must at the game. There was one guy walking around with a vintage Timu Solani jersey. Nolly pointed that one out.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Guys went all out with the Hampton brothers.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's a good one.
Yeah, that was cool too. So, but yeah, I think they ended up losing the game 5-3. Actually, it came out that one of the Wolves players, Stefan Mateau Jr., ended up playing through Game 4, I think.
Yeah.
With a ruptured spleen, I believe.
That sounds right.
Ended up
I saw that too.
ended up finishing the game and everything. That's incredible.
Sorry.
Nolly just flipped the camera around on his dog Maple, and she is absolutely zonked out on his bed right now.
She just sneezed on me.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah, no, he ended up rupturing whatever it was.
Yeah,
Hey, do
incredible.
it for the Calder, right?
So even though the Wolves jumped out to a 1-0 series lead,
Answer queries using your
What?
Fuck!
give it another try.
Shut up, Google.
look down, Tanner.
This is going well.
Jesus.
Say anything like that again. I don't know what it was.
So yeah, even though the Wolves ended up jumping out to a 1-0 series lead, they ended up losing the last 4. And Charlotte won the series in 5. So it was really weird, even though it was the AHL and I really could. I mean, obviously I was cheering for the Wolves, but I wasn't like upset or anything that Charlotte had won. But still, I don't know, just gets the emotions driven when you see all the boys just kind of jumping around and celebrating everything like that.
Yeah, it was cool seeing a trophy get presented. Never gonna afford to be able to go see the Hawks or a Stanley Cup one in general.
Yeah,
So
we can't all be dice.
True.
Yeah. So, but it was a great time. Had a lot of fun. Thanks, Rossi.
that's Ross.
Rossi boy.
Rossi.
Rossi boy.
Had to work.
Let's transition to the Stanley Cup Final, Game 7. Because, wow, was that kind of a massive letdown.
I mean,
Yes and no.
yeah. My favorite part is that it's over.
Yes.
Yeah.
The worst part that it was 2 teams that I fucking hate.
Somebody, one of my mom's friends asked me, she was like, I really hate the Bruins, but it's really hard to come on, Maple. It's really hard to cheer for the Blues. Wait, hey, take it easy. Sorry. She said she didn't want to root for the Bruins, but it was hard to root for the Blues. And she's like, who are you rooting for? And I said, well, the Bruins lost, and I was very happy about it. And then I seen the Blues start lifting the cup. I got instantly very upset, and there was 100% no chance of a happy ending this season. And the best part of it is that it's over.
Mm-hmm.
We got to wait till the draft and trades start happening, and that's the best news I've heard in about a month.
At what point did you guys think that it was officially game over? Was it the second goal with 8 seconds left to go in the first? Because I think that, I don't know if that was officially game over, but that certainly left a bad taste in Boston's mouth, and they couldn't recover.
I think the third goal was just game. Because that was right after the Nordstrom save.
Mm-hmm.
And Binnington was just not letting a fucking thing through. And he also looked like he had no issue making every save already. It wasn't like he was struggling or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then their best chance, I got this, no big deal.
Tanner, how did you feel Tuukka Rask played? Because I felt like even though he gave up 4 goals on 20 shots, I felt like he actually didn't play all that terrible.
He didn't. He played fantastic the entire playoffs. Yeah. He completely outplayed Binnington every game. It's just they got lucky. I don't know. It's hard to say. I guess it's hard for me to say that he outplayed him every game because they ended up winning. But he looked like the better goalie for a majority of the series. If you take every game and put it as a whole complete play, Tuukka Rask outplayed him that entire time. But since it's broken up into games, like Binnington had like times where he like did well, but I don't know. Like Tuukka Rask was just fucking insane the entire playoffs.
Yeah.
Like his stats even proved it. He was like he had like one of the best like stats for a goalie since like Tim Thomas, and that was in 2011.
Mhm.
And then Binnington also had some of the like worst fucking stats for a goalie, and like, but like he always like big after like losses, which kind of like almost balanced it out.
Yeah.
Where like Tuukka was always consistent, and then it's just like sometimes they would lose because he had no goal scoring for his team. Like they
Right.
lost, they didn't fucking score a goal.
Yeah.
So that goes back to me saying that the defense actually isn't very good. Because I think the Bruins defense, it's not very good.
No. I mean,
and I think that kind of showed because the Blues defense did a great job shutting down lines, and the Bruins D. I mean, the Blues played the best Bruins hockey that they could ever play.
Yeah,
like, it looked like the Bruins when the Bruins are on.
They also blocked like 21 shots.
They take advantage of miscues and turnovers, and any little chance that they get to score a goal, they take advantage of that, and that was shown in Game 7. I mean, they had 2 goals on 4 shots in the first period or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that's huge. And that second goal, fucking Marchand misses his hit and then just goes straight to the bench when it's a 3-on-2 going into the zone, and then the guy that he should have, Pietrangelo, ends up scoring the goal there and ends up being the game winner. So I mean, you could say that was the downfall from there, because I mean, you got Marchand in his own head after that, thinking to himself, man, I should have fucking just stayed in the play when there's 13 seconds left in the fucking period. Just stay on the ice, no matter how tired you are, in the zone. So, I mean, that just kind of ruins your top line, which also that perfection line isn't perfect, because what the fuck did they do in the whole final? I don't know.
I wanted to talk about that second goal, too, because Brad Marchand, the entire time, just had a complete brain fart. He was covering for the point. I think it was Grzelcyk that had pinched in down low. He was covering for the point. As soon as it came out of the corner was when Marchand thought it was going to be a good time for him to go for a line change. For some reason, that was when he thought that was a good time. Not when it was pinned up along the boards, but when it popped out of the play. Then he realized that the rush was coming in. He stopped and he turned around, and he didn't continue to move backwards. He came to a complete stop and tried to check Shen. Why are you at a complete stop? You are at a total disadvantage. Then he whips on his check and thinks, you know what? That's it. I'm going to go ahead and go off for a line change. And Alex Pietrangelo, who, if you watch the replay, was actually kind of gliding into the zone, realized that there's about 45 feet for him to take, goes in, has a wide open middle, and takes it. So, I mean, the entire time, Marchand made 3 mistakes that were just beyond stupid. I couldn't believe that he was making them. Like, I understand, like, he was probably gassed at the end of a shift, but also at the same time, there's an element of common sense that was just totally missing there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to also say, I mean, Pietrangelo also played a fucking hell of a game, too.
Yeah, he did.
And, like, he took full advantage of that. And, like, he had just gotten the assist, didn't he, on the fucking goal, like, right before that. And
yeah, he moved it over to Bouwmeester.
Yeah, and then, I mean, that's also, like, I can see how you could say, like, that goal is such a dagger, too, because any goal in the last minute of a period is killer, especially in the last 10 seconds of a period.
Yeah.
Fuck. Like, that's going to make you put your head down on the way to the locker room.
Especially the last time the Cup was handed out in Boston.
Was to another Central Division team?
Yeah, that one. Yep.
Yeah.
So
8 in a period.
Yep.
I was bored at work today, and I was watching the highlights of the game again. And I was watching Zach Sanford's goal. And I watched it, and it is literally almost a carbon copy for when Bickle scored in Game 6. The puck was pinned up along the wall. on the near side, and I can't remember who the Blues player was, but he came out of the corner with it.
It was Dave Perron.
Was it Perron?
Yeah.
And then he went to go cut towards the middle. Tuukka Rask went down early, and Perron threw it directly across the crease for
Wide
a
open.
tap-in. Wide open tap-in.
Wasn't
was.
it Char in front of the net too?
I'm almost positive that it was. It was almost.
Yeah,
I put them side by side, and they were literally like in sync. It was crazy.
Like I said, dude, their defense isn't that good.
Yeah, he was pinching over to get after Perron, even though he was coming out of the corner, and he left him wide open in front, and it was just an easy tap
That
in.
puck shouldn't get through the crease like that, though.
No,
Nah.
no way.
I mean, Chara isn't good anymore. Everybody knows that. He is not good anymore. Grzelcyk was supposed to be this huge factor coming back after being hurt. I mean, he's probably still hurt in Game 7, but he didn't really do much out there. He did have a goal.
Yep.
But I mean, it came late. It was relevant. McAvoy, he's a low-key scumbag. I don't think he's even that great. Krug is probably their best defenseman right now, and I don't know. I feel like he skips shifts here and there too. So I mean, he's not even like 100%.
He's very hit and miss.
Yeah. So I mean, their defense really isn't as good as everybody says it is. And
Yeah.
Yeah, who else do they have?
Unreal. Fucking Jay Bouwmeester was a healthy scratch for the first time in his career this year after playing 1,180 something games. And
That was 1,200 or something.
Well, no, by the end of the year, he was at over 1,200, but at the time of his scratch.
no, maybe that was it. But
Yeah.
still, I mean, he gets his first healthy scratch this year. He plays 28 minutes in game 7. Like, that's huge.
Especially when he's a part of that shutdown line with Parayko.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, they did a great fucking job because you can tell where was Bergeron, Pasternak, and Marchand. Like,
Pasternak was a ghost in this series, I feel like.
banned on so many shots in that
Yeah,
game.
and another thing, they try to be so fancy all the time. There's so many, like, good quality chances to shoot the puck, and they would just try to pass it back door for no reason.
Yeah. It's like one of their things is like they always throw things at the net because they know that their players are there, but they give up some chances sometimes to like maybe even shoot for a rebound because they're just trying to like do that one last like pass through the defenseman to like get like a wide open net. And it works. It worked for them fantastically throughout the rest of the playoffs, but it just didn't happen in that game yesterday.
Yeah. That's the story of, like, hockey, though. You
Yeah.
are all over somebody for 20 minutes and you're down because you gave up 2 small opportunities and they took advantage of it, but you couldn't put the puck in the back of the net.
I mean, and also their best aspect of their game, probably the whole playoffs, was like their power play, and there was no penalties like the entire fucking game, basically.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
the
for
only
one.
one that I remember was Parayko. Yeah, shoot the puck out of play.
And not only that,
Going-
their PK, I know they didn't get a power play, the Blues, but the Bruins PK was unbelievable too. Like, they were at like 98% in Game 6, like in the last 13 games going into Game 6 or something like that.
Yeah,
Their
That is
penalty kill?
unreal.
Holy shit.
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Going back really quick to the Zach Sanford goal, what a crazy bookend moment that is for the St. Louis Blues. Going back to January, Robert Bertuzzo and Zach Sanford dropped the gloves and beat the shit out of each other in practice because they're both just so frustrated. The Blues are the last team in the NHL. And then fast forward to 5 months later, Zach Sanford's the one that scores the final goal of the year.
Jesus.
Like, how insane is that? Like? I hate the St. Louis Blues for obvious reasons, but that's an incredible story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, tops off every story that they have.
Yeah.
So thinking about that moment, can we just talk about how Mike Yeo should never have a job in the NHL ever again? Because he literally said that they should fire me. They fired him, and they won the Stanley Cup without him. Like,
Yeah.
I am not hiring that man. I would hire Bruce Boudreau over that man right now.
Well, no, you hire him so that you can fire him and then win a Stanley Cup, except for he doesn't work out for the Minnesota Wild that way.
Yeah. Well, because you hired Bruce Boudreau.
Oh,
That's where it came in.
I just also want to point out that when I was talking about the Bruins power play, their power play was at 32.4% for the entire playoffs.
Yeah, that is insane.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, no.
That is crazy.
Oh,
That is crazy. I'm almost positive that Mike Yeo won a Stanley Cup with the Penguins. I think he was an assistant coach.
Wasn't a head coach. Doesn't count.
No. I know. Yeah, so he was an assistant coach on the bench with the Penguins in 2009 when they won a Stanley Cup. So maybe he's a better assistant than he is a head coach. But I mean, still, I mean, he that's a couple rough coaching outings for him in a row.
well, who was didn't the Penguins, when they won in 16, didn't they fire their coach halfway through?
Yeah.
And then and then Sullivan took over, and then they won 2 cups in a row.
And in 2009, Bilesma came in halfway through the year because they fired their coach and they won.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's really weird when that's happened.
It's funny that, like, we
Like,
fired Quinville, but
Nope.
we didn't have him for half the year. That's why.
Yeah, that's it.
so next year's the Hawks year.
No,
Totally.
let's not get rid of Colleton. I like what he's doing.
No. Like, they fired Q, so like Colleton's first full year, it's going to be. That's what I mean.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
If so fact.
So
It's so fact though.
how do we feel now that it's all over? It was admittedly a great goal, but you know, with us being from Chicago, kind of a sigh of relief.
I mean, the playoffs went exactly as I thought they were going to go. It was exciting. It was exciting playoffs, and like when we previewed the finals, like those teams were the exact same on paper, basically, and we got 7 games, which was fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
which I got
That
right,
was
by the
probably
way.
the longest playoffs I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it feels like it's been going on forever.
which
I
is
know.
crazy because there were so many sweeps too.
I know. Yeah.
Jarom, what were you saying?
I said I called it too. Like that's the one like good prediction I had all postseason is I called St. Louis in 7. So that's one thing I'm patting myself on the back for. The
There you
only
go.
thing.
Well,
Well, also, I talked you into picking the Blues because you had the Bruins at first. So
I know. So, but still, you
Fuck it.
you took 6 games. I took 7. So
Yeah, because I got confident in my pick. You were just like, oh, I don't know. I'll go with Nolly.
well, it makes fucking sense when you said it, but
You're confident in
Yeah,
your
you also
Blues?
took a lease with me, so how'd that one work out?
yeah, that's true.
Wait, I chose the Bruins in that series.
Ryan O'Reilly ended up walking away with the Conn Smythe. Conn Smythe. I felt that was well deserved for sure.
Yeah.
He had a kind of a tough postseason. I forgot where I saw it, but he only had 5 goals in his last 30 something games leading up to Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final, and then from there on out, he scored in 4 straight games.
Yeah. It was the first player to do that since Wayne Gretzky in '85.
So, and not only that, but the last 6 games of the series, he had a 6-game point streak, which is only one other person had ever done that. Hey, what's up? Mario Lemieux. So,
How do you do?
Mario.
how are you doing?
2 of the greatest hockey players of all time.
Yeah, try of all time. So, and talk about another great story. Like he comes from Buffalo, and he literally says, I know we've talked about it, but he literally says he lost his passion for hockey. He's literally the best player on the team, even when the Blues are blowing dick. Like they're playing terribly, and he is the best player on the team still. He's working his ass off. And Buffalo goes on a 10-game win streak. Like that does not feel good for him, I'm sure.
Oh,
and
right.
then January comes around and the team starts tearing it up. And I mean, he was clutch for them throughout the whole playoffs. He's definitely their best player, well deserved for sure.
He's fucking man. He showed how fucking good he was too. Like
Not only that, guys fucking on the plane heading to St. Louis to go party, drinking Guinness instead of Bud Light. That is a fucking man right
That's
there.
hilarious.
wide
Guinness
open,
as hard as he can.
and going at it. That's a good pick.
Also, a true
You guys
gentleman apologizing for dropping the
I was about to
F-bomb
say.
on national TV.
Great beard.
Oh yeah,
great,
he's very polite.
great guy. Just unreal. Huge
Yeah.
O'Reilly.
Yeah, I'm a big O'Reilly fan.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, have you seen that? Like, there's like an Instagram video of him doing like stick handling, skills on the ice, where he's just handling over and then chopping it up to the top of the net, and it's so fast. And I was just like, Jesus.
Well, they
I've known Ryan O'Reilly's good. I was like, when you actually get to see him on the national stage for like a 7-game series and like during the playoffs, you're like, fuck, he's good. Like, so good.
the NHL took that video of him practicing that and then showed his goal in Game 5, and it was exactly that. Like he chipped it right over Tuukka's shoulder. Like I was like, oh my god, when you actually practice things, it actually works in a game. How like who would have thought?
I've done this 1,000 times. Yeah, boom, backhand, top shelf, done.
That
Put
and
a stick in
his
front of me, I'll go right under it.
that and his stupid toe on his stick too.
Yeah. That tip that he had for the first goal of the game
Oh
in
yeah.
Game 7 was unbelievable. That looked like there was so little effort was put into that, but it was perfectly placed. He did all of that on purpose. Being a goalie, I don't know how players do that. There's so much skill there.
Mm,
Yeah, it's great.
That's what separates the NHL players from us. That's the only thing though.
Hey, no, I can do
Able
that.
to
It's,
tip.
for me, it's like the skating and the stick handling and like the shooting and like the endurance and like the skill. But like I can tip. Pretty well. That's like the one thing that. What the hell was that?
Honestly, you take a video of me stick handling and a video of Ryan O'Reilly stick handling, and it's like identical. But you take a video of me tipping the puck and him tipping the puck. That's where you can notice the difference. I'm so much better.
100%.
So you guys were
100%.
talking about how good Tuukka was. Would you guys have been upset or surprised if he won the Conn Smythe despite losing?
No, I would not have been upset about that. He played unreal, and like
I wouldn't have been upset. I would have been shocked.
You see his stats in like elimination games that entire like playoffs. He had like a 980 save percentage and like a 0.8 goals against average. It's fucking disgusting.
The only thing better than that was Binnington's record after the losses. What was he, 15-2?
Huh. You know,
16-2?
my post on Instagram.
Wait, he could have been 16-2.
No, so
where they won.
Binnington games following a loss, he was 7-2 with only 17 goals against, with a 1.83 goals against average, 931 save percentage, 0 shutouts. Tuukka Rask in elimination games was 5-0, 4 goals against, a .80 goals against average, .973 save percentage, and 2 shutouts.
Tanner, stat guy. Holy shit, bud.
Which is really funny because I remember that from his post. That's where I remembered that. I was like, where did I see this? And then he pulled that up. I go, oh, that was the post. What up? I was like, so I mean, he posted it, but I remembered that shit. Teamwork.
So, Nolly and I, nope, other way.
Yeah.
Other way.
It worked on mine.
You guys are in the top and bottom corner. It's not working.
Yeah, it didn't work on mine.
It wasn't perfect on mine.
Yeah. Moving on.
Nolly and I met Vito, Dom, and Sarge at a bar in Oak Lawn to watch Game 7, and I took a video of Pietrangelo lifting the cup, and as he was doing that, I was taking a Snapchat for Nolly's sister, Kara. She's a huge Boston fan. So
why?
I just kind of had that in the background, and she responded back to me this morning, and she goes, I hope that both of you have sons. Handsome, beautiful, articulate sons who are talented and star athletes, and they have their legs taken away. I mean, I pray you know that pain and that hurt, and I was dying. I did not need that at 6:30 in the morning, Kara. Hilarious.
Busting out the Ricky Bobby. Very nice.
Also, first year they do the fireworks around when they hand out the cup. Those pictures are unbelievable.
So cool.
Oh my god!
Also-
That's straight into my veins.
The pictures look cool, but it looks so awkward, like in real time.
Don't care.
One of the fireworks didn't work.
Yeah.
I noticed
Oh.
that. And then I that's what I thought too, was like, I was like, whoa, I've never seen this before. And I was like, okay, that looks weird. And then that picture on Instagram, and I was like, oh my fucking God, Petriangelo, fuck me, please.
We talk about
Jesus.
the best picture that was taken of the entire night, though, and that was Brad Marchand on one knee watching the St. Louis Blues celebrate and crying.
Yeah, fuck that dude.
Phenomenal.
If I could have one video constantly playing, like as artwork, that's what I would want.
That's what I want. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I can think of a few other things I'd want.
Top
I mean, they're
five.
all Blackhawks related. So
Yeah, it's like you can't feel bad for him. The guy's the prick. Like, good for you, dude. You deserve it. Like, congrats, man. Soak it all up. Soak up all the crying. Soak up all the fucking. Like, you know, he thinks it's his fault that they lost that game too. After that game,
Good.
After the game-winning goal was his fault. Like,
Good.
Yep.
well, I
but he
messaged you
thinks
guys
it's his fault.
too.
And good for him, dude. Fuck him. I don't care. You went and you got 110 points or whatever it was on the season, and then you go and grab your own
100.
puck. Fuck you. He hit 100 points. Like, he finally hits 100 points, and you're like so worried about getting the puck, you go and get it yourself. You deserve to cry.
I sent that text to you guys. I was like, there's like 3 minutes left. Like, what are the chances Marchand does something fucking stupid?
I don't think. Did he even hit the ice for the final?
That
few
was
minutes?
He did. But I was just like completely expecting a total fucking Marchand move on somebody.
Oh, yeah.
And I was actually more surprised it didn't happen.
and you saying
Yeah.
it, you texting that was the first time I was like, oh shit, is he like even doing anything out there this game? Because after that first period, I don't think I heard his name called once.
True.
So that kind of puts a bow on the 18-19 season. The Blues come away with the Stanley Cup first in their franchise history. So they're still 4-15 in the Cup final in their history. So snack on that, St. Louis.
So real quick, who is the longest drought amongst NHL teams now?
It's the Sabres and the Vancouver Canucks.
No. In general, I know you're talking about no cups in
It's the
general.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, it's the Maple Leafs. But the
Nolly,
ones that
when's it
don't have
happen?
a cup- So this is what I wanted to bring up. Was last year the Capitals got their first cup. This year the Blues got their first cup. So now the team that has played the longest without having a cup is the Sabres and the Canucks, who have gone 48 seasons without a cup win. But I mean, if we're getting everybody their first cup, who's going to get their fucking first one?
Hey, what if it's Vancouver Buffalo in the final next year?
Ooh. I don't see that happening next year, but maybe in like a couple of years it could happen.
Yeah.
Little Besser Eichel going on?
I'm
Patterson?
thinking Patterson
Yeah.
is the main event.
No, Pedersen Skinner.
Ooh.
Oh, 2 wheels.
A little
Oh, yeah.
Rasmus Dahlin and
I was
Quinn.
gonna say Darlene.
Yeah.
Oh, little Alexander Nylander and Bo Horvat. I don't know.
Maybe.
Some other young guys.
Speaking of Jeff,
Thatcher
Yeah.
Demko and Uko Pekko Lukadakin. I can't remember what his name is. It's the goalie prospect for Buffalo, but he's supposed to be sick.
There was something about a duck in there, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Sleepy's Duncan.
Yeah.
Jeff Skinner got paid, and
Mm.
how do you guys feel about that contract?
I think it's screwed. It's gonna be one of those things. I immediately thought of Marner.
I feel like it was an inevitable thing. He was going to end up getting a ridiculous contract.
I know he was going to get paid. I don't like how much he got paid.
No,
Like,
and I
good for
don't.
him getting that much money, but I don't think that contract is going to be worth all of that.
No, I don't think it's going to end up working out as well as they're expecting it to. He might have a couple of decent years. I don't think he's ever going to have anything like he did last year. I really don't.
40 goals, 23 assists.
I mean, he's had a couple 30-goal seasons, but
4
I
times.
just don't see it. I don't know what it is. I don't think Eichel should be making as much as he is. I don't think he's as great as everybody's saying
I'm
he
all
is.
aboard the Eichel train. Fuck you.
I know you are, and I am not.
I kind of disagree with you on that, Nolly. I mean, we really haven't been able to see Jack Eichel at his fullest potential. I think last year was kind of the first year that we've been able to see that. He's been hurt a lot.
Why should you pay him then?
Well, because he's going to end up being a superstar.
Eichel,
He's
you're
the guy that you're building.
yeah, Eichel, you're definitely paying for potential. Where Skinner, you're paying for what he's done.
You're paying for hopefully he can keep doing what he did
Right.
for one season.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, I get Buffalo. Like, you need to overpay some people,
Yeah.
especially if he's your captain and everything like that. I don't see it. I think he's like a bit of a selfish player, and I don't know.
Who's Skinner or Eichel?
Michael.
Well, he doesn't really have anybody around him.
Because he didn't like him.
I mean, I don't know.
Allegedly.
He's also a younger player too, so I mean, he's kind of got to find his groove in the league as well. With Skinner though, the first thing that I really thought of was the fact that he really doesn't stay healthy all that often. I feel like he gets injured quite a lot. So if you're getting,
I want to tell you how wrong you are.
am I actually very wrong?
Yeah.
He had
Oh,
one
okay.
contract that lasted a while. That was about it.
So here's what it is. So he had 82 games this year. He had 82 games last year. He had 79 games the year before that. He had 82 games the year before that. He had 77 games the year before that. He had 71 games the year before that. And the lockout shortened season, which was 48 games, he had 42. So his second year, he had 64. But his rookie season, he had 82.
I think his second year is when he got that concussion too.
Yeah. And like, I think part of the reason too is like, you think that he gets hurt because he's kind of non-existent in some of these seasons.
That might have been it, honestly.
It's weird. So his rookie season, he won the Calder. He's a big 30 for 30 guy that year. He was a 31 and 32. Then he scored 20 and 24, so he went down a lot.
20 for 20. Nice.
Yeah, he regressed, and then he went 10 for 10 in the lockout shortened season. He was 13 and 11. But after that year, he went back up to 33 goals. The next year, he went down to 18. And it's just like, it's kind of been like awkwardly in different places. But I don't know. He's at least in the last like 4 years, like the lowest goal amount he's had is 24. But he got 40 with Michael. And that's the most he's ever had.
Yeah, and I mean the whole team tailed off at the end of the year. So I mean, who knows? He could have hit 50 if they would have stayed hot, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, the only time that the Tampa Bay Lightning weren't in first the entire, or like for like when they established first place was when Buffalo took fucking first place.
Yeah.
When they were on that streak.
Yeah.
And then they shat the bed, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess time will tell
Yeah.
how the contracts are. We'll see.
Well, this kind of leads into overall in the entire NHL season. What was for you guys the biggest surprise of the year, and what was your biggest disappointment on the season?
Regular playoffs.
Overall, whole thing.
Because honestly, I can't remember past the first round. I don't remember the regular. And like, it's literally been the longest season, I feel like.
It has. I don't know. I guess the whole Blues thing was pretty surprising. Going from first to going from last in the NHL to like fucking making the playoffs and winning it all. That's crazy shit.
I mean, yeah, that's got to be everybody's number one. But I think how many guys actually hit 100 points this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that was a huge surprise. Nope. I mean,
5 or 6.
yeah. I mean, the past couple of years, maybe you get one. Maybe the top guy will get it. I mean, what, Jamie Benn had like 80-something points the year he won it?
Yeah, that was a few years ago. There was 6 players with 100+ points.
Yeah, so I mean, that
And
NHL's
then-
the points are going up.
Ooh,
So
what was it? I think we talked about this before. There was 25 players with a point per game this year.
Wow.
Yeah, Phil Kessel was the last one on that list.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just
Tied
I
with
think that's one of the biggest surprises for me, seeing that many guys get 100 points, and how many goal scorers hit at least 40.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, also they I guess they made the goalie pads smaller, like in the chest area, and
Yeah.
like that really helped out. But what's crazy too is like you got to see like the more skilled goalies are still having like 8 shutouts a season. It's just like the less skilled goalies were just getting lit the fuck up more.
Yeah.
Fuck.
What about a disappointment? No.
But what about you guys?
Like the biggest
Jarom?
surprises.
What's that?
What's yours?
Which surprise or disappointment?
Oh,
I think surprise is because I was kind of listening back to the season preview episodes and looking at all the teams we said that were going to be bubbles this year. I mean, first off, we were pretty fucking spot on with that, but just seeing how fucking close some of these teams that have not been contenders and have just been like the laughingstock of the league, how close they truly are to being playoff teams. Like Arizona, 4 points out of the playoffs. Then you got Montreal.
9 games lost this year.
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
Montreal puts up 96 points when they were supposed to be fucking nothing this year. Florida, 86 points. There's like nobody talked about them, and now they're bringing fucking Q, and they have money to go do damage in free agency. I just think it's just the best thing about this season is just the power change that's being set up. I think it's going to be so awesome to see more of these teams in contention.
It is nice
Yeah.
to see teams make the playoffs and new teams make runs for the champion. It is nice to see that. I mean, hell, you got back-to-back first-time ever champions.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
better.
that,
Blackhawks, but whatever.
yeah, I know. I think that's kind of my biggest surprise too, is the fact that the 4 wild card teams in the first round ended up making it to the second round, something that's never ever happened before. And I mean, the biggest surprise out of that is obviously Columbus taking down Tampa Bay in 4 straight. So I think the biggest disappointment for me was probably just the poor reffing in just the worst times. I feel like that really kind of put a damper on a lot of what happened this postseason. It became a bigger storyline than some of the things that probably should have actually been the storylines.
Yeah.
I also just wanted to point out a really big surprise for me was also Elias Pettersson, just how filthy he fucking was. Holy
And
shit.
how hard he can shoot, even though he's like
That kid was
not
on
even
highlight reels for like the first like 3 months, like straight. Holy shit. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out, but fuck.
Yeah. What about disappointments for you guys?
I'm
That
disappointed that the Blues didn't stay in last place.
It's true.
Accurate.
I'm
Disappointed that the Blues and the Bruins made it to the fucking finals.
So I've been thinking, is this so? I really, 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 really want to blame the Blue Jackets for the Blues winning the Stanley Cup, because if they did not sweep the Tampa Bay Lightning probably beat the Bruins. We don't get that stupid fucking final between the Blues and the Bruins. You probably get the Lightning in there, or even if the Lightning lose, they probably still take out the Bruins second round. So I'm blaming the Blue Jackets and the Lightning on this final and the way this year ended.
You're putting it all in Carolina to beat the Blues.
No, the Lightning.
Curtis
fuck. How do we forget about
Bud.
How come none of us mentioned fucking Carolina as a big surprise?
That's true.
A bunch of jerks and
Or
Honestly, I
like
could-
see, a big surprise was like none of the or all the 7 and 8 seeds made it to the second round. Like the fuck was that?
Well, he just said. The
yeah, he
wild
just
cards.
said that.
Oh well. See
My biggest disappointment is that we did not get to see Poets having to buy Nolly a jersey.
Oh,
Yes.
everybody wanted it. I don't know. I guess there's disappointing in teams like Tampa. I'm disappointed in
Yep.
that they got swept because I think that's a great team. And like I'm not like I love that they got swept and Columbus was awesome. That was a great series to watch. But it's disappointing that they were one to tie with the best record team of all time and they got knocked out. They didn't even win a playoff game. Going back to Buffalo, going on a 10-game win streak and not making the playoffs, being above Tampa Bay, literally like Tanner said, being the only team to be above Tampa Bay in the regular season and you don't make the playoffs, like that's disappointing.
I was going to say what's actually pretty funny about the 10-game win streak thing is that Philly did it like 2 years ago. 10-game win streak, didn't make the playoffs. Next season, 10-game lose streak, made the playoffs.
So Buffalo, just get that 10-game lose streak. You'll make the playoffs.
And we'll lose to the Pittsburgh Penguins in the first round.
But obviously, biggest disappointment, Game 7, Round 1.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Poets.
So, taking a look at the odds for the Stanley Cup in 2020, even though they got swept in the first round, Tampa Bay still has the best odds at 8-1. Boston's right behind them at 9-1. Same with Vegas. The Leafs are in fourth at 10-1.
The biggest disappointment, Vegas not getting past San Jose. Bullshit.
Final answer?
Yeah. Big
Final
time.
answer.
Because then Vegas against St. Louis, I think, is completely different than Vegas versus San Jose.
I agree with that.
Or, St. Louis versus San Jose. Big time. Big difference. Vegas should have won that game.
Yeah.
Biggest disappointment.
Colorado and St. Louis are both 12-1 odds. The Sharks are 16-1. Same with Washington and Winnipeg. And then Calgary is at 18-1. I'm not going to go through all of them because that's going to take forever. But the Hawks are at 33-1. Meanwhile, in last place are the Ottawa Senators at 100-1 odds. So
Get used to Ottawa.
Put your bets in.
At least Ottawa has that fourth overall. I mean, maybe. Fuck. Never mind. At least they have Matt Duch. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Good thing Mark Stone resigned.
Eric. Nope. At least Mike Hoffman's gone. I don't know.
Shabbat. They got Shabbat. That's the one.
Oh, Tao Shabbat. What a surprise. There we go. Big surprise. That guy's fucking sick. He's going to be a Norris Trophy winner.
Brady Kachuk is going to end up winning the Art Ross next year.
Lady Bing.
He'll get the Selkie.
Oh, yeah.
He'll get the
Lady Bing.
Lady Bing.
Speaking of awards.
No. Oh, Leafs at 10-1. Not a bad pick.
I mean,
no, it's really not, honestly.
Do you
Just saying,
think
10-1,
and
it's the first
Marner?
year of the bet, so you know that they're gonna actually do it to fuck me. They just love
Do you think it goes up if they re-sign Marner, or are they already considering them re-signing Marner, or do you think it goes like if they don't re-sign Marner, it's at 10-1?
No, I think it's
question.
I think it's if they don't. I think it's like literally right now as the team stands at this point in time.
Yeah.
Okay, then if they re-sign Marner, then like I think that goes up, right? Like they would be like one of those really good fucking teams still. You get another season with fucking Marner that's filthy. He came out nasty this year.
So go get your bet in now, Nolly. Get him at 10-1 before.
Yeah, I don't have $10 either. So
Gotcha.
I'll give you $10, bud.
wonder what the odds are for the Hawks making the playoffs. Because
I don't know. I would take those though. Yeah.
I would 100% take the Hawks making the playoffs next year.
Yep. Absolutely.
Tanner, why don't you hit us with the awards and the stats?
Okay.
You spent about 20 minutes doing an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but let's just due to time, let's just stick with the big ones.
Okay.
That's fine.
So, big guy, Hart Memorial. We got the Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, Nikita Kucherov. And if we're going to go into like stats, because, the Hart is just like MVP. Well, Crosby ended with 100 points. He had 35 goals, 65 assists. McDavid, 116 points because he's just fucking filthy with 41 goals, 75 assists. And then Nikita Kucherov just finishing with the same points as his team, 128 points, 41 goals, 87 assists. I think it goes without saying that Kucherov's going to fucking win it.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous, especially with the way that the scoring's been going up, but like it's really awesome to see somebody hit almost 138 again for the first time in over 10 years.
So here's the thing. It's most valuable player, and I think looking at that list, McDavid is the most valuable player to his team.
Very true. I can see that.
Because they didn't make the playoffs again. He had over 100 points again. Without him, they are nothing. Literally nothing.
Draisaitl also had over 100 points too.
Yeah, but
he had 105, and they still didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, 200-point guys. That's unbelievable. But no, I agree. It's got to be Kucherov. What a year! Like you have to give it to him.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's crazy that Kucherov's a second-round pick, and then Crosby and McDavid are both first overall.
True.
And that's fucking sick.
And he's Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're both Canadian. That's true.
Yeah.
Wow.
So are we all going Kucherov?
Yeah, Kucherov across the board.
I think coaches, yeah. Okay, well, let's move on. Norris Trophy. This one will be, it's always weird. Victor Hedman, Mark Giordano, Brent Burns. Hedman had 12 goals, 42 assists for 54 points. Mark Giordano, 17 goals, 57 assists for 74 points. And Brent Burns had 16 goals, 67 assists for 83 points. Now, I've been hearing a lot of people have been saying Giordano.
I want Giordano, to be quite honest with you. I think that would be a really cool story.
So
I think Giordano would be a good pick just because, what a great season. He helped lead fucking the Flames to their first overall status, along with fucking Gaudreau, Monahan, Kachuk. They all had fantastic seasons and they did it the entire year. That was awesome. And then Victor Hedman's in there because Tampa Bay is filthy and he's the cornerstone defenseman. And then Brent Burns is in there because San Jose did fucking great again. But I also think it helps to have another Norris Trophy caliber player in Karlsson. So that's why I think the stats don't really talk as much as the way that how they've led their team or led as a true defenseman should lead a team.
So the thing is, it's basically come down to whoever has the most points, which is ridiculous.
Not always. That's why it's kind of weird. It's
most of the time. That's what it's come down to. And if they want to do that, fine, make a different trophy. We've talked about that. But, I agree that Karlsson was there, but he also missed a lot of the season for Burns. And he would put up that many points with or without Karlsson over there. And he didn't play with Karlsson much. But I would have to go with Giordano just because I think he deserves it 100%. Like you were saying, he's their guy. 100% he's their guy.
Yeah, I think Mark Giordano is probably going to end up being my pick. He really is the go-to guy out in Calgary for pretty much everything. He's their captain. He's their leader. And to be able to put up 74 points and be one of the main reasons that team has such a huge turnaround year, I think that, I think that's a better story than Victor Hedman, who is already on a pretty great team. Brett Burns, who is always putting up those kinds of points because he's a forward playing defense.
Not wrong. Was it Drew Doughty that said it's kind of a shame that Brent Burns is in the talk when you see him get beat 4 or 5 times a game, but as long as he gets an assist, then it's like, oh man, yeah, Norris Trophy.
Yep. And Giordano can do it on both ends, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm Gio.
Nice.
Tanner.
Doesn't do that because we've talked about how great Victor Hedman is, but Giordano ended up putting up more points than Hedman. Look at what team Hedman was on.
I want a stamp. This one. Bam. Bam. Don't mind me. I'm doing dumb shit on my computer. Next, we're going to move on to the Selke Trophy. It's best defensive forward. I mean, it's basically become the Bergeron Trophy, but, you know, this year it could be different. Mark Stone, who had 33 goals, 40 assists, 73 points. I also want to point out penalty minutes for this one because, like, you can't be, like, a great defensive player if you're always in the box. He only had 27 PIMs this year. Like, these are your penalty killers, too. So, like, these guys cannot be taking penalties. Classic Patrice Bergeron, 32 goals, 47 assists, 79 points. And he also had 30 penalty minutes. And Ryan O'Reilly, the fucking Conn Smythe man himself, 28 goals, 39 assists for 77 points, only 12 penalty minutes.
People also have to remember, though, that these awards are, I don't know if they're determined before, but they do not include playoffs.
They're in before.
Yeah.
So I mean, everybody already. But I really think this year it's the year Bergeron. I put Bergeron third this year out of those three, honestly. Like, I'm thinking Ryan O'Reilly. It's his year. He had a great year. He led that Blues team, like I said, like we talked about earlier. He led that team when the team was garbage. Like, and taking only 12 penalty minutes when they were in last place halfway through the season. Like, he only had 12 pins the whole year. Like, that's unreal. I think it's O'Reilly.
You can't overlook Mark Stone in this, though, because he started this season out.
That's what they said. I think Bergeron's third.
Yeah.
I think it's either O'Reilly or Stone's this year.
It's a close 1-2 between those two.
Yeah, taking a look at Stone, I mean, he started out on a team that was just horrendous, terrible. And he ended up getting traded mid-season to the Vegas Golden Knights, who are a better than average team. And he took them to an extremely good hockey team. He very, very clearly took that team to a whole new level. So I think that's something to kind of think about as well with Mark Stone.
I think one of the cool things is Mark Stone's one of the first defensemen, or I don't know about one of the first, but like he could possibly be one of the first defensemen since 2003 defensive like forward winners since 2003 to win it as a winger instead of a center.
Wow.
The last winger it was Yuri Lenton, and it's all been centers since then.
That is crazy.
And one of the sad things is, like, I think Hossa was always like kind of like in the hunt because he's such a fucking great two-way player, and so it's kind of cool. Like watching Mark Stone, when you can watch Mark Stone, he makes fucking defensive plays look so effortless. But like so does Patrice Bergeron, and then I mean Ryan O'Reilly. He doesn't really make it look effortless because he's always going so hard that it's like there's no. Other teams just don't have a chance, like even create offense because he's already on their ass like that, and then he's like, "I got my puck now." Like when everybody else is just like, "Oh, stick lift, that's mine now." Like it's weird the way that they play it kind of like differently in almost a sense.
Yeah.
So who are you going with, Tanner?
I want to go with Mark Stone just because I'm a big Mark Stone fan right now.
Poets?
I'm gonna do the same.
You guys are going with O'Reilly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking. But yeah, honestly, like after this season, after these playoffs, everything, Stone and O'Reilly, like I've always liked O'Reilly. I never watched too much of Mark Stone, but actually being able to see him, like, those are turning into two of my favorite guys in the league. They're both so good.
All right.
Calder Trophy.
Calder. The Calder Trophy is going to be between Elias Pettersson, Rasmus Dahlin, and Jordan Binnington. So Rasmus Dahlin had 9 goals, 35 assists for 44 points. Pettersson, 28 goals, 38 assists for 66 points. And then Binnington, he had went 24-5, a little 1.89. He had a 927 save percentage, and then he also had 5 shutouts.
I thought that was going to be 5 PIMs. I was like,
No. That
What
category, I put
Yeah.
put pins and shutouts. So the one thing that I have an issue with this one is, like, Binnington only played 30 games.
Yeah.
He played great. Played fantastic. I think Miro Heiskanen. Heiskanen. He probably deserved it a little bit more. Like, Binnington had a crazy, insane performance, but he only played half a season. He finished the season fantastically, Stanley Cup, but
Right.
like, I would just like to see, like, more stats from that. I mean, his first game he got a shutout, which was pretty fantastic, but Elias Pettersson, unreal.
Didn't that happen to McDavid his rookie year? He missed like half the year with his collarbone. He was still in for the Calder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he lost Aaron.
Yeah, that's right. And
Mhm.
yeah, I feel like this is the same situation where he just didn't play enough. Like, yeah, he was great and everything he did was great, but Elias Pettersson still missed a decent amount of hockey this year, and he was close to a point per game guy, and he was unreal. He's basically the reason that Vancouver, like, won any games. Like, his stats are what was it? Besser's stats when Elias Pettersson was in the lineup skyrocketed compared to when he was out of the lineup. Like, it was unbelievable. He makes everybody on that team so much better. For me, it's got to be Pettersson.
Oh, 100% going to be Pettersson.
Like, Pettersson he missed 11 games, but like you said, he was almost a point per game player as a rookie on a team that's almost, like, last in the fucking league.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking insane. Like, that just shows how fucking good he is too. And I'm so, like, astounded by how, like, small stature he is. Like, I don't know how tall he is, but he's like so skinny, and he just fires the shit out of the puck and fly, and he's just sick.
His helmet looks so big on him; it looks like a bobblehead.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, Rasmus Dahlin, fucking, he had a great season too. Like, I didn't really get to see much of Buffalo, but, like, having 44 points as a rookie and like
defenseman,
as a defenseman too, like,
Yeah.
that's a lot of pressure, especially being the first overall pick and being, like, the next Erik Karlsson. Like, I don't know. I would like to see more of him, but the games I did, like, watch, I was like, I didn't really kind of notice him at all, but I don't know if it's just,
He
like,
was kind of a low-key, sneaky guy. Like, he did his stuff quietly.
I would see some highlights, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, he would, like, sneak into a play back door or something like that. And it's like, oh yeah, that, like, he's got the speed, he's got like the offensive awareness and everything. He's a good player, but I think Pettersson just absolutely annihilated this one.
Pokes.
Yep.
Pokes.
I think so.
All right. Ted Lindsay. So
yeah, let's just get this. That's basically the heart, right? It's just this one's voted on the players.
It's voted on by the players.
I think it's
so it's the MVP as voted on it by your peers.
Yeah,
it's gonna be rough.
I think it's Kucherov regardless.
Well,
Again.
the choices are Kane or Kucherov and McDavid. I think if it's voted on by your peers, I think McDavid's going to probably win.
Yeah.
No, I think
everybody's going to look at it as, like, McDavid's fucking filthy. Like, of course he's going to be the MVP. Like, that was disgusting. Like, Kucherov gets to play with fucking Stamkos and, like,
Point.
Braden Point and shit like that. Like, they were all, like, Braden Point and fucking Stamkos, I swear, were, like, point per game players as well, at least. I don't know. There's somewhere around here. There's
I'm gonna say McDavid.
points for point. Fucking Stamkos 98, Kucherov 128. Like that's fucking crazy. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, I'm gonna say McDavid on that one though.
Yeah.
Nolly.
I'm sticking to Cooch.
I'll just say Kane to be different. I'm tired of us all basically picking the same.
What?
I'm taking Kane. I'm just tired of all of us being the same,
Same.
but
Oh, yeah.
different.
Um,
The Irrelevant Award.
Lady Bing.
Oh, I skipped ahead. My bad.
Fuck you. Lady Bing trophy. The nicest player. Just the most gentlemanly player. Alexander Barkov, Sean Monahan, Ryan O'Reilly. It kind of just goes towards the players that take the least amount of penalties. So Barkov had 8 minutes of penalties. Monahan had 12. O'Reilly had 12. I think Barkov didn't take a penalty for like 40 games or something.
Yeah,
like
it was something crazy.
And then he got a tripping penalty when he just held his stick out, and then he actually let go of his stick and because it would like hit it, it like tapped the player's skin. He let go of his stick, and then the player just like fucking stumbled through it. I was just like, oh my god, that's hilarious. But I mean,
Yeah, I think I'll go Barkov on this one just because 8 PIMs it's actually really hard to do.
it's fucking crazy. There's players that get 8 PIMs a game.
Yeah.
Or not a game, but like in a game, like.
Vander Kane had 40-something in one game. That was awesome. Huge fan.
Huge to the fantasy.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be Barkov, and he had 96 points.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
come
what
on.
I was gonna say. Like, look at those fucking numbers.
Yeah, bud. He's sick. Oh my god, what was it? And everybody thought that like Florida was dumb for taking Barkov ahead of like Seth Jones and Jonathan Drouin. Fuck you. That guy is so nasty.
Is it Barkov across the board?
Yeah.
I mean, Monahan and O'Reilly, great seasons, but I mean, take maybe like 33% off those PIMs, bud, because that's what Barkov's done. Okay, moving on. Vezina. So, classic Vezina trophy like finalists. We got Henrik Lundqvist, Carey Price, Jonathan Quick. Just kidding. We got Ben Bishop, Robin Lehner, and Andrei Vasilevsky. And it's actually kind of funny with the amount of time that like 2 of these goalies missed, and then one only played like half the time. But Bishop went 27 and 15. He had a 1.98 and a 9.34 save percentage. That's pretty sick. Help the Dallas Stars make it to the playoffs. Not a big deal. Robin Lehner went 25 and 13, had a 2.13 and a 0.930. And then Vasilevsky went 39 and 10 with a 2.40 and a 0.925. Bishop had 7 shutouts, and Lehner and Vasilevsky each had 6 as well.
I think it's gonna be
Honestly,
Vasilevsky, but I hate that just because it's kind of expected to him to put up those numbers with the team that is in front of him. Where look at like,
yeah, can you imagine if Ben Bishop was on a team like that?
I mean, like, look at what
I was like, yeah, man. Could you imagine if Ben Bishop was on?
Yeah, they'd still lose in the Stanley Cup Final. It's not.
But it's like, look
They
at
lost
the.
the Stanley Cup Final because Vasilevsky played.
No, he didn't. Bishop played, but he only played half of.
Oh, Ben Bishop never got swept by the Columbus Blue Jackets. I'll tell you that.
Truth. Did he ever play the Columbus Blue Jackets though? What's his record against the Columbus Blue Jackets? I need these stats.
No. I don't know. I'm trying to find out what I'm doing.
I think overall, I think that Andrei Vasilevsky is probably the most talented goaltender in the league just based off of the way that he plays and some of the saves that he makes. He's a smart goalie. He uses his size to his advantage. I don't know. I really love the way that he plays the game. I think he is one of the best goaltenders in the league right now. But if we're gonna go based off of stats, I mean, you can't really overlook Ben Bishop rocking an under 2 goals against. You know, I mean that's
just crazy.
That's pretty incredible over an entire season.
Well, he only played 46 games.
Yeah, exactly.
And Vasilevsky actually played 53.
The days of goalies playing 60 plus games a year are long gone.
Oh,
you know, 46 is
as you see, Marc-Andre Fleury played 61.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're still going to see that. I mean,
Dubnyk played 67.
But I mean, I think it should probably end up going to Ben Bishop this year.
Well, the only thing that I don't know. This just seems weird to me. Is like I thought that Vasilevsky missed so much more time, but he played more games than both Bishop and Lehner.
Yeah,
he had more saves, like by a good amount. Like he was only like 0.009 save percentage less. Like I don't know. Like I could see it just going to Vasilevsky because and he had 3 assists. It's like, come on.
It's probably going to go to Vasilevsky, but you know it'd be cool if it ended up going to Bishop.
So who are you taking, Poets?
Vasilevsky.
I would love to see it go to Robin Leonard.
Yes.
What a story it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, Lehner, like, what a, like, if there was, like, in the NBA, how they, like, I don't know, is there, like, a comeback player of the year award at all for, like, any sport? I thought NBA
baseball.
had one. I think NBA has improved player of the year.
Baseball, I think, has comeback player.
Curry won that and the MVP in one season. But
MLB comeback player of the year.
Yeah, if they had a comeback player of the year, I think by far Robin Lehner. Fucking
100%.
Holy shit. But honestly, like with the stats and like, I mean, it's a similar amount, number of games. I think Ben Bishop's a good call for Vezina. Yeah. I mean, less games, one more shutout, better save percentage, better fucking goals against average. Like, I don't know. He helped them. Like I said, he helped them to a playoff berth. He took him to the second round.
So did Khudobin while he was not playing. He helped them out a lot. So
yeah,
I didn't say he didn't.
I'm going Vasilevsky.
But the thing with like that too is like, what was their backup goalie?
Louis Domingue.
And Louis Domingue was winning games with them. Like, wasn't making any crazy saves or anything like that. Like, he lost them some games too. Like,
yes, he did.
It's good to have Vasilevsky because he's a solid goalie. He's very fucking good, but like they do have a good team.
Yeah,
Louis Domingue went 21-5 as well. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. As a backup. Yeah.
His stats are still good. Vasilevsky, I mean, I think that's just how it's going to be. Like, that's just really how it is.
Also, Khudobin only went 16-17, so he didn't really help them as much as.
Yeah, but look at the save percentage and goals against. 923 save percentage and a 257 goals against. You really can't ask too much more out of a quote unquote backup.
That's true. That's very true. Like, especially like when the team got called out by like their owner like partway through the season.
Yeah, I know.
I mean that and maybe that lit a fire under their ass. Who knows? Might see a lot more of that next year.
Never know.
Okay, yeah, I'm going Bishop.
Oh, you're going Bishop?
Yeah. I'm going with the Bish. All right, moving on, I guess.
I think we're gonna call it.
Yeah, let's just stop it there.
All right. I mean, we could just say the awards and then just say who we're gonna choose if you want.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as we probably should do it quick.
Wrap this up.
Bill Masterton, which is dedication to hockey. There's Nick Foligno, Robin Lehner, and Joe Thornton.
Lehner.
Yeah, I think it goes to Robin Leonard just because of after everything that he went through.
King Clancy, I can't remember. I think it's if that's leadership or it's dedication outside of.
That's like the charity one, I think.
Charitable one, right?
Yeah.
And it's Ekman Larson, Lundqvist, and Zucker. I don't really know what they've done. I didn't really look into it.
I think
I'm gonna
Zucker
say
has like a
anything.
huge thing he does. I remember him on Chicklets talking about it. I don't know about the other two though, so I'm just gonna say Zucker because of that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's just do the Coach of the Year and GM of the Year. So Jack Adams, Coach of the Year, Craig Berube, John Cooper, Barry Trotz.
Berube.
I think it was going to go for Ruby anyway.
I would go Barry Trotz.
Yeah, that one's hard because I mean, obviously, Trotz took a team that shouldn't have made the playoffs to the playoffs. John Cooper coached one of the winningest teams of all time, and then Berube turned a team completely around. So I mean, I don't know where this one's going. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
Cooper because
You're saying
We're not
Cooper?
talking about it. We're just making choices.
I'm saying Cooper, and I made my
Okay.
choice. Oh, you're talking about it.
Okay. And GM.
GM could be Doug Armstrong, Don Sweeney, and Don Waddell. Armstrong is for St. Louis, Sweeney's for Boston, Waddell is for Carolina.
Armstrong.
Armstrong.
Waddell.
Armstrong.
Okay, that's it. There we go. Done with that. That was a long one.
That was a long one. Well, fellas, that will wrap it up for this episode and the 2018-2019 NHL season. So
Silly
It was a fun
season
one.
time.
it was a long one, and get ready to do it all in a few months.
Oh, I can't wait for the draft.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk
Draft
about
and trades. Let's go.
Let's go. Silly
Draft,
season.
Free agency,
On hockey.
trade,
03 draft.
Okay.
about to get crazy, baby.
2015 draft.
All right.
I think, yeah, you're right.
Tell me about some drafts.
All right, peace out, fellas. This was episode 62 of the Luke Johnson. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Okay, love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Follow the boys on Twitter at WCBPodcast, on Instagram at WCBPodcast, and like them on Facebook, the Windy City Benders Podcast.